Live from Las Vegas. Here we are, the My Baby Expert Show. I'm your co-host, Joe Criso, and I have a special guest I'd like to introduce. The one, the only, your main host, my wife, Shari Criso.
Okay, we are getting extremely silly tonight because we are in Las Vegas, and where better to be silly than in Las Vegas? Because you know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except when you're broadcasting all over the country, I guess. So, hello everybody, and welcome back to our This is our fourth episode of My Baby Experts, and I am excited to see you. I am all the way across the country. It is 9 o'clock in my hometown back in New Jersey, and it is 6 o'clock here for us. We are in our hotel room in Las Vegas, and right behind me, behind this curtain, is the entire Las Vegas Strip. The problem is that it's so early that it's bright out, and as we continue on with the show tonight, I'm hoping that it gets a little dark so you can see the kind of view we have of the Vegas Strip and all the lights. And so as it gets darker, I'm going to ask Taylor to open the blinds and see how we do, okay? So we'll let you know as the sun starts to go down, because it's actually a fun and definitely interesting view. So, how is everybody tonight? I am actually doing something a little bit different tonight because I can actually see your chat, and I can see you guys all coming on, and I see you all logging on beside me. So as you see me looking over to the side, what I'm doing is I'm reading and watching along with you guys, and this is going to be extremely fun because I always feel so lonely. I'm talking. I don't know who's actually out there. I'm counting on Joe to tell me, and now I can see you all there. So hello, everybody. I see you logging on. We've got about 8 people on and about 17 guests. If you're a guest and you haven't logged on, now come on, join the party, go RSVP, because you're never going to win those prizes, and we got some amazing prizes to talk about. I don't know if we actually mentioned it last week, but if you've been watching my tweets and you've read about the RSVP, we've got that awesome $600 grand prize eye candy apple stroller that one of you lucky people are going to get to have at the end of this 8 weeks. So you have to RSVP, okay? So I know you're out there. I can see you. Log on and say hi. Say hi to us, okay? Anyway. All right, so let's get started tonight. And first of all, you know, for any of you who are joining us for the first time, I just want to take a moment, again, introduce myself. My name's Shari, and I am the host of the show, and I know most of you, but some of you who don't know me don't know a little bit about my background. I'm a registered nurse, I'm a certified nurse midwife, and a board-certified lactation consultant, and also the owner of a retail specialty store, the Birth Boutique in New Jersey, a big 5,000 square foot store where I sell and demonstrate and bring to you all the best products on the market. And actually, that's what I'm doing in Las Vegas this week. This is our annual Las Vegas trip where we go to the ABC trade show, and this is where all the manufacturers are. So I get to see all the products firsthand, and I get to do the shopping. This time it's my turn to shop, and this is like one of my favorite things to do the whole year, because I know that what I bring back to you are the products that you're going to be using for your families. And so I take this very, very seriously, and we walk around the show and we make sure that we're just picking the best things out there. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm busy, very, very busy this whole week doing that. And what we're going to be doing is talking a little bit about that, because what came up for me as I was walking around this gigantic trade show, and I have to tell you, even 4 days is not enough to walk around the show. You can't imagine how many baby products there are in the market. But as I'm walking around the show, I'm thinking to myself, I feel like a new mom standing in one of these big baby warehouses with all those products in front of me and just overwhelmed with, like, what am I supposed to be purchasing? What am I supposed to be buying? You know, I'm doing this for the store, so now I'm buying. This is how you must feel when you're out there trying to sift through the sea of baby products, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about how to make some of those decisions, because as I was going through my own choices and what it is that I choose and why, I thought, you know, my choices for the store are really not much different than the choices that you would be making. So I'm taking a look at who's logged on here. Oh, hi, Mommy and Daddy. We love you, Jade and Talia. Okay, my little girls are watching right now, and I'm away, so I just have to give them a big mwah mwah, mwah. Kiss to both of you. I love you both, and I can't wait to see you guys. Okay, mommy and daddy love you. We'll see you in a couple days. Sorry, I had to say that. You know, they're watching, and I just love them so much. Anyway, okay. So as far as like, one more thing I want to really announce, because this is a very exciting day for me. For some of you guys who are in my store, you know that I have a line of loungewear. It's called Nurture Wear. And Emily, if you want to put up the link for me, it's www.nurturewear.com, that everybody can go and see this amazing line of nursing, maternity loungewear that you can wear during your pregnancy and after. It is super comfortable. Heather, our model, and I have a picture here. This is the card, and I don't know if you could see this. This is our loungewear, okay? But Heather is here with us in Las Vegas modeling the loungewear, and we're doing fantastic. And it's the actual debut where we're actually selling it to all the stores across the country, and we're getting a phenomenal response. So this week's sponsor is me, okay? And what I'll be doing is I'm going to be giving away 2 sets of my Nurture Wear. One is a winter set that is a 3/4 sleeve with long pants, and one is a summer set that's a tank with capris. So 2 of you out there will be lucky winners, and I will be giving it out. Anybody who has used the Nurture Wear, you can go on and chat a little bit about it and tell everybody how wonderful and how much you loved it. I have people who tell me, you know, I never take it off. I had one lady, she was standing in the store, wearing it head to toe, standing in front of the display, and I walked out and I said, "Can I help you?" And she said, "My baby's 6 days old and I haven't taken this off yet. So literally I need another set. Can you give me one in every color?" And I can understand. I still wear it and I'm not even nursing because it's just the most comfortable thing there is. So we're excited to be bringing that to you too. And anybody who wants a pair, you can find it at nurturewear.com, and we'll be able to send them to you too. But let's get started a little bit about what our main topics are. And so the main topic, okay, how do you pick the best baby products on the market? All right, so, you know, when I started to come up with some tips of like, what am I doing myself? I started to think, with everything, like anything, when you're purchasing a car, when you're purchasing any products, you want to do your research. And that kind of research includes, taking advice from friends, reading some books, what are the experts' opinions on it? What are some of the ratings on the products? How long has it been on the market? Do your research so that you have the information. You're not just walking into a store and at the mercy of whoever's trying to sell you whatever is there. You really want to make sure that you do your own research and try to find what products really have the best ratings. This is important, and make sure that you're not just basing it on price. I know we are all cost conscious these days with the economy the way it is, but sometimes trying to actually save money will actually cost you more money in the end. And I've seen this with so many products where you try to buy something a little less expensive and then it doesn't last, and you wind up spending more money on getting things more than one time. And I see this especially with our nursing bras. You try to buy a cheap bra. We'll get to it. We'll get to nursing bras in another episode. I mean, when we talk about, Bravado is going to come on as one of our sponsors, and we're going to save that episode for them. But when we talk about nursing bras, we say the same thing. Buying cheap stuff just doesn't last, and you want this stuff to last you. So make sure you're not just making cost your only determination of what you buy. Ask your friends, what are they using? What worked for them, what didn't work for them. That will give you really good insight. But then also remember that your friends only have their opinion. They only use one swing. So they might like it, but it might not be the best one out there, okay? So you want to ask multiple people, try to poll as many people as you can, and figure out, what is everybody saying about it? Is it not coming from just one person? I see people all the time going, they're shopping with their sister-in-law, and the sister-in-law is telling them everything to buy, and yet her kids are like 8, 9 years old, and products have changed a lot in the last couple of years. So you want to make sure that you're getting the most up-to-date stuff. Okay. Very, very important, and this is coming from a retailer who sells baby products. I'm going to tell you, don't overbuy, okay? You don't want to fill your house with a lot of stuff. It's very, very easy, and I know with our first baby, it was like a baby product explosion happened in our house. We came home and after a baby shower, and the entire house was filled with baby products, from swings to bouncy seats and every kind of product there was on the market, and half the stuff we didn't even use. Joe's coming.
I can verify.
I can verify that. He said, "What is this? What is going? We don't even have a baby yet, and we have a house filled with stuff." Don't do that, okay? You have time to purchase a lot of this stuff. Do it in stages, because the worst thing you could do is go and get all this stuff and then take it all out of the boxes and then never use it, all right? So if you do get a lot of stuff for your shower, keep it all packed up so that by the time you decide whether you're going to use it or not, you still have the opportunity to return and exchange and see what you really need, because you really don't know until you're using it yourself. So that's very, very important. Less is more when it comes to your baby products, okay? Look for products that have dual purposes. This is really important. When you come into my store, I do this all the time with people. I talk about strollers that have multiple purposes, like they have a bassinet that you might be able to use the stroller in your house as your bed for downstairs, so you don't have to set up a big pack and play. Use your stroller and wheel it from room to room if it has a bassinet. I love the Arms Reach Co-Sleeper. That's an awesome product, and you can use it next to your bed as a bassinet. But then it also, the original large size can turn into a full-size pack and play, and you'll use it for years for travel or for just when your baby's playing and crawling around. So having a dual-purpose products can really save you money and also save you space, all right? So that's really important too. And then last and not least, and this is, I think, one of the biggest things that I do, that I get the opportunity to do, is learn about the company you're buying from, because the product may seem really great, and then what you don't know is that the warranties are terrible, the customer service is terrible. If the product breaks, you're going to have a hard time getting a replacement. You're just not going to know who to call. They may not be as good as far as replacing it quickly. These are really important things to know. And if you have any questions, you can email me about most of these companies. That's the questions that I ask. And if you think that you're tough in my store asking me questions, you should see me walking around the show asking the manufacturers about their products. I'm more tough than anybody. So I want to make sure that I'm bringing you the good stuff. And if you have any questions on that, I hope that helped a little bit to start picking out what is it that I need if you're expecting. When it comes to your breastfeeding products, I do have a video out there called my Breastfeeding Essentials video. That will help you a lot to really narrow down what are the products that I specifically need for breastfeeding. You don't need a lot of things. There's 10,000 products on the market for breastfeeding, and some of them are really great, but you may not need them. If you're not sore, you don't need the products for sore nipples. So go to, where you could find that would be great. Go to earthmamaangelbaby.com, and right on her website, you'll be able to see my Breastfeeding Essentials video, and it's also in a written format too. And if you watch that, it'll give you some really good tips of like what are some specific things that you can buy for breastfeeding that you won't have any waste, okay? Okay, so here we go. What's going on over there on the lines? I see everything. My breast friend, a big must-have for nursing. Yes, who said that? Darla, 1200. Yes, I agree with that. My breast friend was one of the products that is totally on my essentials list, and I totally endorse. I want to talk a little bit about something that's in the news right now, and I noticed that there's some warnings from the Safety Product Commission to watch about positioners and sleep positioners, that is. And I do usually sell sleep positioners, so I want to address some of the concerns that are being mentioned out there about sleep positioners. There have been some babies that have died using sleep positioners, but you have to understand that we're talking about 12 that they've reported in the last 10 years. So that's, any baby dying is too many. But I also want you to understand that most of that is from not using the product properly. Whenever I talk about positioners, we always talk about swaddling properly. If your baby is swaddled properly, your baby should not be able to move around. And you want to make sure that your baby is not tilted forward so that they can roll onto their stomach. When you don't use a positioner, what I've seen is that sometimes babies will roll anyway. I don't know if any of you have had that situation out there where you're trying to keep your baby on their back and they're rolling to their side. That could be dangerous as well, or they're rolling up towels or blankets on the side of them. to keep them from rolling, that's really, really dangerous. So, take it all and make your own safe decisions. You have to be wise about it. When you're using a swaddle blanket, make sure that it's one that is really going to hold your baby in. I have some really good recommendations, and if you go to my website, I can give you some links to that too, as far as what are the best swaddle blankets out there. There's one called a Dream Swaddle that I absolutely love, and we used it actually yesterday, on Heather's baby. She's a 2-month-old. She's nursing at our booth wearing the nurture wear, and he loved it. I mean, it's fantastic, and we sell them in the store. Anybody have, I see people are talking about the blanket. They have them. They love them. You guys can tell everybody, right, how much you love that blanket. I love it. So anyway, I have to get to some of the questions because this was like crazy. First of all, okay, tons and tons of questions again, and really good ones too, but we're like all over the place with the questions, but I don't care. You guys want to know, and I'm going to answer them for you. So we'll start to get to some of the questions, and then hopefully we'll have some time for some live questions and answers. Joe will have to come back into the room here with me and start helping me sift through, because it's really hard to read. Oh, phone's ringing. Live TV, see what happens? Live TV. Okay, so one of the questions that came in was from Kia. Oh, this is Bodie Bear. And what she's asking is, any tips on getting a fussy baby down for a nap? He's almost 4 months old, and at this point where he gets bored and defiant, putting him down is not easy as it was last week. Oh, yeah. Okay, so 4 months old and trying to get your baby down for a nap. What I've noticed is that as babies start to get overtired, okay, it will be more and more difficult to put them down for naps. What I'd like to see is that you make sure that you're following like the 2 hour rule, where when we're starting to get to around the 2 hour mark of being awake, you start to look at their signs of, getting a little drowsy, eyes starting to close, not being as responsive. Those are all signs that your baby is getting tired. If you wait for your child to show like extreme signs of fatigue, what happens is hormone levels start to increase in the baby, and they start to secrete adrenaline and cortisol, and it can actually make them more wired, and so they won't go down for a nap. Keeping it at a regular time is really important, and making sure that you keep to a routine. Getting your babies good naps during the day is going to definitely help them sleep better. A nice quiet place, like in their room, lights down low, some room darkening shades, excuse me. My throat is getting dry. Will definitely help with getting your babies down for a nap. But it is super important to keep your babies to a nap routine. They say that, children need a lot of sleep in the first couple of years, especially in the first year. And that lack of sleep is very hard for them to catch up. And it can actually lead to learning disabilities and cognitive issues later on in life. And so sleep, they're finding now through more research, is more and more important than we ever thought before. So make sure you're not waiting for your baby to be overtired. That would be my first suggestion. Okay, I hope that helps you. Okay, Amanda, let's see, Amanda P. from New York. Okay, this is a really important question. Amanda, I'm really happy that you submitted this question, because there's a lot of controversial topics out there, and one of them is about VBACs, and that's the question here. She's due on February 15th, and she's looking for advice about a VBAC. And for all of you out there who don't know what a VBAC is, it's a vaginal birth after cesarean section, okay? Her first baby was a C-section, and her doctors are thinking now that she may not be able to deliver the second baby. What was my opinion? Do you have any words of wisdom to help make this decision any easier? She'd like to not go through the surgery again, but she understands that no one can predict what will happen. That's totally true. You never know. Birth is just an unknown in most cases, so you just can't tell. She's leaning towards having a second C-section because that's what her doctors are telling her, but she doesn't want to give up too easily either. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, the risks here. The risks of VBAC, have not changed in all these years, in these last 25 years since the beginning of doing C-sections and doing VBACs, and we have not seen higher incidences of problems with a VBAC. What we are seeing is higher liability. So lots of times there are different hospitals that are just refusing to do it because of liability issues, not because it has become unsafe for you or for your baby, or any more unsafe than it was. There's risks in every birth, and we don't go over every risk with everybody, but when it comes to a VBAC, yes, you have a specific risks involved. I think that the risk of surgery is there too. And I could tell you as a midwife that have practiced for 7 years, I did many, many VBACs very, very successfully. And in many of those cases, they were babies that were much bigger than the first baby that was too big to deliver. So, if you feel like you really want to go for that VBAC, what I would recommend is that you do. You have to talk to your doctor, and if your doctor is not comfortable with it, this may be a time where you start looking for another doctor who is comfortable with it. And I know many doctors who still do VBACs and do them very comfortably. And like we said before, you cannot determine how the outcome is going to be, but you cannot tell if you're going to birth until you birth. And then the end result, if you have to have a C-section, you will. So you can always try. Make sure that the hospital is allowing it too, because a lot of the hospitals are just not covering VBAC. So it's a really good question, and if you want me to follow up with you a little bit more on that, you can email me and I can answer some questions directly for you. But I thought that was a good thing to bring up. Is everyone a good candidate for a VBAC? Galit, knew you'd ask that question. So no, not everyone is a candidate for a VBAC. It depends on the type of surgical incision that you've had. If you had a low incision down in the pubic line, then that's usually an indication that it's okay. But we also need to know what kind of incision you had on your uterus. So your doctor's going to be able to do that. You want to get your records from your last one. And also you want to just make sure that depending on what the reason for the first C-section was, in this case it looked like your baby was sunny side up, and that doesn't necessarily mean that this one will come out the same way. So I think you may be one of those candidates that could be a good candidate for it. Okay. The idea of VBAC scares me, somebody's saying. Repeat C-sections are generally more dangerous than on a VBAC. I'm seeing all these comments here. Oh, okay, so this was a hot topic. And midwives rock. Love you too. Thanks, Jen. Okay, let's see. Let's move on here. I am 10 months pregnant and scheduled for an induction October 13th. What are your views on inducing labor? How does it affect my baby? 10 months pregnant. Okay, so I need to know how many weeks. This is from Trishana in Illinois. Can you tell me if how many weeks are we talking about here? Because there's a certain point where 40. Okay, great. Okay, so when is your doctor suggesting that you have an induction? The 13th of October. That's this week. This week. Okay. So I don't know. I think that, we can never tell. Babies are due anywhere from 30, they're due anywhere from 38 weeks to 42 weeks, depending on your cycle. We can't tell always when a baby's going to come, and, they don't always come on their due date. Yes, there are more risks with an induction, and there's more of a risk of ending up with a C-section. So in my opinion, no, I would not do a C-section. I would not do an induction right off the bat. Is there any other reasons why he's recommending I was induced, let's see, I'm not dilated yet. Okay, that's okay. Sometimes you don't dilate till you're actually in labor. I'll give you a few tips of what you can do to help yourself to start labor in a very natural way, and also to help ripen and soften the cervix. One of the things that I use is something called evening primrose oil, and it's a supplement that you can start taking. About 36 weeks of pregnancy is when I start it with my clients, and they take it orally, about 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams a day. And what it does to help ripen and soften and effacing the cervix, which makes it nice and thin. That's a really good thing to try, and you can even do it now. The other thing you can do is some nipple stimulation, okay, either by hand or with your pump. Some nipple stimulation can help to induce contractions. For all of you that don't know that, nipple stimulation increases oxytocin levels in your body, and that oxytocin can help start to contract your uterus. There's also a homeopathic form, because when it comes to herbs, and a lot of people talk about herbs to induce labor, or castor oil, oil. I'm really not into that. You need to be very, very careful. We don't want to force anything, and we don't want to cause any possibility of a problem. But when it comes to homeopathy, homeopathic forms of induction are very, very safe. And the remedy that you want to be using is something called cauliflorum, okay? CAULLPHYLLUM, okay, cauliflorum. And if you want to get that, I do sell it in the store. We can send that out to you. But that's a really, really good way to help start an inducing labor. And I even used to use it in labor if the labor was slowing down before I would use Pitocin. But I probably wouldn't be thinking about an induction till at least 41 or 42 weeks. Obviously, there's monitoring that needs to occur now during, after the baby's due, because the placenta can start to get old and maybe not functioning the same way, but you can tell by going on the monitor. Your doctor can monitor your baby's heart rate and also doing ultrasounds to check for fluid levels. Those are important things to do. Okay, but good luck with that. We just don't want this to be just convenience. All right, we want to try to give you the best option possible to have this in the most natural way possible. That's just my point of view, but obviously if you're asking the question, you want to know that. All right, let's see. I think the castor oil made her poop in the womb. Oh, yeah, you know what? I have to agree with that. I'm not big into castor oil for inducing labor. I agree with that. Okay, so no castor oil. Too harsh, okay? That's stimulating your bowels. Who's going to want to have those major intestinal cramps and then possibly not even go into labor from it? So, no. All right, next, if you want to pump extra ounces and do an early, we're going to turn into breastfeeding here, okay? If you want to pump extra ounces and do an early morning feeding, would you pump after 4 a.m. feeding or the 7 a.m. feeding? Which one would yield more milk, or does it matter? I don't really think it's going to matter. I think that any early morning feeding is going to help to produce milk. Your milk supply is generally highest in the morning and lowest in the evening, okay? So like late afternoon and evening is probably the worst time to try to pump extra milk, and then early morning, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. is probably your best time to try to pump extra milk. For a lot of people, they can make enough milk to completely feed their baby on one side at that time and use the other side for pumping. That's what I did. So I don't think it matters. Whatever's more convenient for you, or maybe you do a little bit at both feedings so that you don't have to pump too much. But I don't think it's gonna matter. I hope that helps for you, yeah. Okay, I'm going through these quickly because there are so many, and I really want to try to get to as many, and I so appreciate that you took the time to submit the questions, so I really want to try to get to as many of them as I can, all right? I'm worried about breastfeeding the second time around. This is from Jennifer in New Jersey. The first time I had so many difficulties, but ended up exclusively breastfeeding for 8 months straight. That's awesome, Jennifer. Well, I'm so proud of that, and you should be. It was a lot of work, and I don't think I could do that again. Okay, so if you had a lot of difficulties breastfeeding the first time around, you may want to try something a little bit different. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result usually is not going to work. Okay, so whatever it is that you did, whatever preparation you had, whatever coaching you used, if you try to do the same again, you're probably going to get the same result. Granted that each baby's a little bit different, but now you have a toddler to take care of as well. I would recommend that if you haven't watched my breastfeeding program, that you go to sharicriso.com/mybabyexperts, and you can watch my breastfeeding program and see if there's things in the program that help to make things just a little bit easier. I know from a lot of moms that I take care of, it's their third baby. They struggled. They either didn't successfully breastfeed with their first two, and now they're completely, exclusively breastfeeding with their third. One of my cousins in Israel is, Karen in Israel, is living proof of that. And, we can make this much, much easier. It doesn't have to be as difficult. Now, I'm not saying breastfeeding is easy, and depending on what you're referring to when you say that it's a lot of work, having a baby is a lot of work. Okay, so one way you breastfed for 8 months and you really didn't see what it takes to bottle feed a baby. And I don't know, for any of you formula feeding moms out there, you can kind of chime in. I didn't formula feed, but I've heard stories, and cleaning bottles and mixing formula and all the other things that go into it, it's not any easier. So, and it doesn't necessarily make them sleep any better. So, just having a baby is difficult and a lot of work in general. And I wouldn't use that as a reason to not breastfeed this baby. You gave your first one such a huge gift, a huge gift. You want to make sure that you can do the same for your second. So try to start, and definitely try to watch the program, because I think that you're going to get a lot out of it, and hopefully it'll make a difference this time. Okay. So Galit and Shai, who are new parents of a lovely little boy, want to know, what are the hot new items for parents? Okay, so I was at the show today, right? And so then what I did was I was walking around and I was doing the buying, and I thought, what are some of the products that I saw that I really, really loved? Well, there were two in particular, and they were both diaper bags. And I'm definitely, one I already purchased for the store, and the other I'm going back tomorrow to purchase, because just a perfect item. One is called, and I have an example of that diaper bag here. It's a company called Go Gaga. And what I love about it, what they gave me was a sample of the strap of the diaper bag. And if you can see the strap, what it looks like is like the strap of a sling. So any of you people out there who have used a heavy diaper bag and have put it across your shoulder and felt it digging into your neck, you can understand that that's going to hurt, okay? When you put this on, and I don't have the bag attached to it, but I'll show you how it works. This one will go onto your shoulder, and I hope you can see what I'm doing here. It spreads out across your shoulder so that when you're carrying heavy stuff, it's more like a sling, and it's actually going to distribute the weight evenly on your shoulder, and it makes it a lot easier for use. The bag is specifically perfect for dads. So it's a great dad bag, it's a great mom bag, but that's awesome because you can both use it. It's not too feminine, it doesn't come in all, flower colors. I got them in black, I got them in red, they look awesome, and we're going to be getting that into the store. So that was one awesome bag that I think would be great. And the other diaper bag is another company called from Warm Milk. It's a company called Warm Milk, the Baby Hobo. It's a convertible diaper bag. Now this is genius, okay? And a couple months ago, I was actually thinking of this idea. And of course, you always say, well, how come I didn't come up with that? Well, I did, but obviously I was too late. They had already made it. So we're going to buy them from them because they're brilliant in coming up with this idea. The Warm Milk bag is a bag, and for you breastfeeding moms out there, you'll understand what this is. A diaper bag that converts into a breastfeeding pillow. So when you're out in public and, you're like, well, what do I do when I'm out and I don't have a pillow to use? This is a diaper bag that actually turns into one. I'm wondering if you can see the picture here. Let's see. So let me see if I can show you a good picture. Okay, so can you guys see this? Really, really awesome. Where am I going here? Okay, so the bag turns into a breastfeeding pillow. It zips off, and then you have this awesome pillow that you can put onto your lap so when you're on the go. And for any of you who are thinking, like, what do I do when I'm out? This is a great solution. So I'm going to have this in the Transformer baby products. Exactly, dual purpose. What were we talking about before? Anything that can have two purposes, I love it, right? So that's one. So those are some great new items that I found this week, as well as a lot more, but those were two that I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, on to the next question. Let's see. This is from Andrea. Andrea from New Jersey. Hi, Andrea. Okay, she's saying that she is, okay, if I get a cold or I get sick while I'm breastfeeding, can I still breastfeed my baby? Is there anything I could take? How about oscillocosinem? Okay, so very, very important question. Oh, Joe's telling me that it's getting dark outside. Who wants to see Las Vegas? You want to see an awesome view? Here you go. You ready? Okay, look at this view. I'm going to get out of the way. Wow, okay, we got the Bellagio behind us. Can you guys see? We got a cool view. Woohoo! All right, we're gonna go party after this. I wish you were all here with me because we're gonna have an awesome time. Okay. Yeah, we are staying in an awesome, gorgeous place. This is a Platinum Hotel in Las Vegas, and we just love this. This is where we stay every single year. I'm going to move out of my way because I think people are wanting to see a little bit more. Can you guys see it? Yes, we're going to have some fun after the show tonight. But anyway, let's talk about getting cold and getting sick. Okay, so very, very important. Oh, what are you saying here? Rolled into Bellagio fountains. Oh, can you see the fountains behind? You're gonna be able to see the fountains behind me. Hopefully, they're gonna go up while we're on here. Those are the Bellagio fountains. They do these amazing water fountains. Okay, so if you get a cold or you're sick while you're breastfeeding, it is extremely important not to stop breastfeeding. Okay, this is extremely important. As soon as you catch any kind of a virus or a cold, your body is immediately making antibodies that will directly support and help prevent illness in your baby. The worst thing you could do is to stop breastfeeding because you actually put them at risk for getting the actual cold that you have. You can't stop taking care of them. So you definitely want to continue. There are things that you can take while you're breastfeeding. Remember, when you're breastfeeding, there's a milk connection, and so most medications are safe to take while breastfeeding. If you have questions specifically, you can ask your doctor, and if you are not getting an answer, you can email me. I have a book that we can look it up, but most things are safe to take while you're breastfeeding. And oscillocossinum, okay, that's what it's actually called. That's a homeopathic remedy to help prevent flus as you're starting to get the flu. Yes, it works great. Yes, it's 100% safe for breastfeeding and also for pregnancy. We use it all the time. We use it on ourselves and on our children. So very, very good. Good question. Okay, another question from Andrea. She had some really good ones, so I'm going to keep going with some of her questions. She's talking about, my cousin is pregnant and she's worried she won't be able to breastfeed since she has breast implants. Can she? Yes, definitely yes. Breast implants are not a contraindication for breastfeeding, nor do I ever really see any problems with milk supply issues from breast implants. When we're talking about breast augmentation, meaning reductions, we usually see more issues with that, where the breast tissue has been removed, the nipple's been removed from the breast, and sometimes that can sever the ducts that actually lead to the nipple. And even in those people, many of them can breastfeed successfully, even partially or complete. But with breast implants, I rarely ever see a problem. It should be no issue at all. And even if you've had not saline implants, but silicone implants, I've had the question of like, can the silicone get into the milk? And what the answer to that is that yes, we do see a studies have shown a slight increase in the silicone level in the milk. I don't know the exact, I'm going to get you the exact amount, but it's like a very minor increase in silicone levels in silicone implants compared to formula, which had like hundreds of times higher silicone levels in the formula. Okay, I'm going to get you that specific information. I don't have it in front of me, but I've read that study and it's just totally amazing. So having a silicone implant still does not should not make you not want to breastfeed. Okay, I hope that answers your question for your cousin. Tell her to definitely continue, get the program, and keep going with it. Okay. Let's see. What's another question? Oh, do you have to freeze breast milk immediately? Okay, this is from Tina in the USA. Tina, where in the USA? We need to know exactly. USA, that's a very big place. I want to know exactly where you're calling from. But anyway, do you have to freeze breast milk immediately, or can it go in the fridge for 2 days and then be frozen? Yes, definitely. Breast milk is very, very stable, okay? So when I teach about storage of breast milk, what I teach is that breast milk can be stored in the refrigerator for up to 7 or 8 days in the refrigerator and still be used, no problem. And then it can be frozen even after that. So when you're starting to hit towards that week and you haven't used the milk, you can go ahead and freeze it for up to 3 to 4 months. Now, this is very different than formula. I don't want you to confuse the two. Okay, formula is good for 24 hours in the refrigerator, and then it cannot be frozen. It needs to be tossed. But breast milk can. You do not need to freeze it immediately, and I actually would recommend not freezing it. Freezing breast milk can actually damage some of the properties of the milk, so it's not as good as fresh milk or refrigerated milk. So I would try to avoid freezing and use that just as for an emergency stash. Okay. Let's see. Somebody asked about the resources page that I keep talking about that we did on October 4th. I think it's up again now. We've actually fixed that. I'm sorry the link came down, but I think it should be fixed at that point. So go on. What do you do, Joe?
Go to ShariCriso.com.
Okay, go to ShariCriso.com. click on the My Baby Experts image.
And up top, look for resources.
Okay, and up top there'll be a tab that says resources, and it should be back up again for you. So go ahead and take a look. All right. I got a question today that I think is really important that we can address. And for any of you out there who have watched my breastfeeding program and enjoyed it, have thought about becoming a lactation consultant or just training other moms, the question came in about how do I get trained or certified in my breastfeeding system, meaning the Criso breastfeeding method. She'd love to teach others your methods, and I think that is fabulous. Okay, that was my intention all along, is to be able to train other moms, other people out there to teach the method that worked for them. What I'm going to be doing is putting together a training course for all of you. So anybody who's interested in learning the Criso breastfeeding method and actually getting certified to teach the program, I want you to contact me. You can send me an email or actually go through the blog post and just contact us. Either way, you can send an email to info@birthboutique.com, and we will get you onto a list of how we're going to put this together so that we can get you certified. I think that when we start to talk about certification for this, it's very important for you to understand the methods, the techniques, but remember what I say in the video. The techniques and the methods that I teach are only 2% of your success with breastfeeding. So just reciting the methods, the techniques is not the answer of how to teach this class. 98% of the success that the clients will get, or the moms out there will get, will come from their confidence and their commitment. And that takes a little bit of training that I want to work one-on-one with you on, whether it's through a teleseminar series or however we decide to do it, to teach you how to best empower moms through the use of a class. And I'm going to be very, very happy to be able to put that program together for all of you. So check back with me and email me if you're interested in doing something like that. Okay. Let's see. What is everybody writing here? Awesome. Keep telling. Let's see.
Just take your live class. They're all chatting.
What? What are they chatting about?
Lots of things.
Okay. Laura took the live class Thursday night. How'd you like the live class? Awesome, right? A little tired at the end, but I keep them there late. You see, I tell them it's a 3-hour class, and then, you see, because I really told them that it was really like 4 hours, nobody'd ever sign up. But, you know, I could talk all night, as you can tell. And when they start off, I tell them, how can I ever talk for 3 hours? And then it just keeps on going. But I'm very excited to see any of my my October students in my live series out there. I cannot wait to see all of you guys this week. I'll be back in town, and Joe is really excited to be with you. We're going to be teaching Predict this week, and that's the class with the live babies. We're going to have an awesome time. So excited to teach that one with you guys this week.
You didn't mention that we were on the radio.
Oh, we did an awesome, okay, so right before we came on tonight, we were with pregnancyplaceradio.com, and go check it out. I think.
Actually, thepregnancyplace.fm.
Okay, how is it?
Thepregnancyplace.
Okay.
.fm.
Okay, the website is called thepregnancyplace.fm. Thepregnancyplace.fm, okay? And you can hear my streaming radio show that we did with them live in the booth, and 2 amazing doulas who just, you could tell, complete passion for what they do. And doulas are just so near and dear to my heart. I had doulas with both my babies, and just talking about what they did was bringing tears to my eyes. Joe was talking about what a doula does, and you know, it just really was amazing to be with them and do the radio show, so you can hear the whole live broadcast. Taylor was with us, so we actually videotaped the whole thing, and we actually turned it into a live show, and we'll be able to broadcast that with you too. And also, I'd like to give a shout out, a very, very, very special person to me, Miss Kelly. Okay, she is my employee, my bookkeeper, and my dear friend who works very closely with me every day in my store. Had her baby boy last night, and I got a text from her. She had a baby boy. She delivered at home, and just had an amazing natural home birth and fulfilled all of her dreams and really did it her own way. And I am truly inspired by you, Kelly. If you're watching this tonight, she was at our last October class, and she had her baby, and I'm just sending you big kisses to you and to your baby. I love you both so much. Okay, we can't wait to see you. And Joe is too. Is Kelly online?
Pregnancy Place Radio is in
Oh, Pregnancy Place Radio. Hi, guys. We're here.
Yeah, if it's Karen or Eric,
Is it Karen or Eric? I can't tell. Okay. Okay. Great. Awesome. Yay. Okay. So from one show to the next, you see, we don't stop here. We don't stop. I would like to take, let's do this. I wanted to, what? Oh, you guys are both here. You're both here. Awesome. Hi, guys. Thank you for helping me do that show today. It was amazing, and for being here with me tonight. Can you see the Vegas behind me? Here, look at that. What a view, right? What a view. Okay. Anyway, let's take some live questions. We got time for a couple of live questions. Got anything? Joe's been writing some questions down, so I want to hear some live questions from you. Thank you, Joe. Let's see. Okay, so Bex06717, okay, if you're watching, she asked, do nursing bras have to be replaced as often as regular bras or less often? Well, it really depends on the quality of the bra that you're getting. You know, I think that bras do need to be replaced from baby to baby. They do have a shelf life. I mean, let's face it, they're going to stretch out. You're not going to keep your underwear forever either, right? You know, at some point, it's time to get rid of them and get some new ones. The bras need to have good suspension, if you will, all right? And as they get stretched out, they're not going to function as well. But they should be able to last you through your pregnancy and through the year, at least the first year that you're nursing. When we fit bras in our store, we do guarantees on the bras to last you until the baby's at least 6 months old. And again, that's going to come back to what we talked about before as far as the quality of the product that you buy. Buying cheap bras, you're going to have to buy 4 times versus buying a good quality bra, and it's going to last you. So, and if anybody's like having trouble finding bras, you know, I don't know if you know that we offer this service. I know it's a little strange that we can actually do this so well. But we do virtual bra fittings in our store. What that means is I fit bras overseas, like literally people calling me from France and Israel, and I'm fitting their bras on the internet, where we take a few pictures, no heads, okay, in the bra that they're wearing, a few measurements, we ask a few questions, and we can send you perfectly fit bras that you will do better than anywhere else. That is just our specialty, and my staff and myself are really, really good at that. So if you need nursing bras, and has anybody out there done nursing bra fitting with us? And you can chime in and let them know how good we are at this, okay? Yeah, good. Tell them. We do great bra fittings. We have about 50 different styles, and I can totally help you with that. It's something unique that we do, but it does work well. Okay, what else? Okay, let's see. Tina, I can't read Joe's handwriting, unfortunately. Tina Bina, 1229. Do you have an opinion? Tina Bina, sorry. Tina Bina, 1229. Do you have an opinion on hypnobirthing? Yeah, I did hypnobirthing with my first baby. I loved it. I studied it with privately with a teacher, and we did fantastic with the method. It was, I don't know that I could say that I used it through the entire labor, but it definitely helped me in many parts of my labor to stay completely relaxed. I love the place that they come from with it, where birth is a really natural, normal event, and it's not about breathing a certain way, but really just kind of putting your mind in that peaceful, fearless place where I think you need to go in order to surrender your body to birth, and hypnobirthing really speaks from that place. So yeah, I am a big hypnobirthing advocate. Love it. Definitely love it. So I would recommend it. Let's see. Any tips to getting my 5.5-month-old to sleep in his crib? Oh, okay. Let's see. How to get the baby to sleep in their crib. This is from Beth. Hi, Beth. Well, practice makes perfect, okay? Are you using the crib for nap time? Because this is important that the baby starts to get used to the crib, okay? You want to keep reintroducing, going back, keep putting the baby there. The baby can sleep in the crib. And I think that, depending on how you feel, what we did with our second baby, I know this sounds a little crazy, but she kind of ruled the roost, that little one. She still rules the roost, I don't know. We actually moved the crib into our room, so it was an easier transition for her. So she was close by, but she started to get used to sleeping in her own bed, and then we actually brought it back into her room, and she did really well. And now my kids sleep great through the night. They always have since they were about 10 months old, staying in their room and having no issues. So I would say starting to get them used to it while they're taking naps, going into their room and staying with them a little while they're going to bed in their crib will help. Okay. When do babies start drinking less milk and eating more food? Well, definitely not until after 6 months, okay? You don't want to be feeding your baby solids to at least 6 months of age, so I hope that's clear. I'm not an advocate of feeding solids, and at that point, you're going to start slowly with 1 meal a day, and then slowly increase to the point where you get to the 2 to 3 meals a day, and of course, at that time, they're going to start drinking less milk. They really are drinking less milk in the last 6 months of nursing, in the second half of the year, because the feedings don't really increase in volume, but you may be offering less feedings throughout a 24-hour period. So yes, they are going to drink less milk, but not till after 6 months. Let's see, how can I tell if my pump is okay? 3 years old, only partially used since I work part-time. Well, are you getting milk out of it? That's going to be your best indication. This is from Bex0617. You will know that your pump is working well if you are expressing milk in a reasonable amount of time, and I would say that's somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes. You should be able to express and empty the breast. Remember that you can never fully empty the breast with a pump. It's not the same as the baby. So your expectations need to be that, your baby can drain the breast much faster and easier than the pump. But if you are having issues with the pump, you want to look at a few things. Depending on which pump it is, some pumps, the motor itself will actually burn out because of moisture that can collect in the pump and can ruin the motor. But usually it has to do with the valves. They're the little white valves that create a lack of suction to the breast. So take a look and see if you're just getting less suction. If you're getting less suction, maybe changing valves would help. And sometimes using a better flange size for your breast. That's the piece that goes over your breast. Everybody needs a different size hole. If you're not using the right size hole, that can affect how you're pumping your milk out. So before you go and toss your pump, I would try changing the valves. That's usually the problem. If you can, in the Amida pump, if you can actually see through the valve, that little white triangular thing that hangs into the bottle, if you can see through it and it's open, you're sucking air from inside the bottle, so you want to actually go ahead and change it. Okay, and they're like nipples on a bottle. They wear out, so over time, and especially after a couple years, you want to go ahead and change the parts. Especially after 3 years. If this is an Amida pump, if you bought it from me, it was an Amida pump. Back then, they were not BPA free, and so you want to make sure that you're changing the entire hygienic system at this point to a BPA free system. Okay, that was hard to spit out. Anyway. I think we're ready to start picking some winners. Let's see. Any winners? Okay, so Emily, we are going to pick a winner for the winter set, and what they're going to do is when they win the winter set, they are going to, I see everybody wanting, pick me, pick me. Okay, so the winter set is going to be the 3/4 sleeve with the, look how lovely Heather looks in this picture. Doesn't she look comfortable? Anyway, okay. So the winter set is going to be 3/4 sleeve with long pants. You will be able to tell us what color you want. It comes in 4 really great colors. You'll choose your color and you'll choose your size. So don't worry, we're not going to send you one that doesn't fit. Who we got? Okay, winner number 1, Pam P. in New York. Okay, are you here, Pam? Pam, number 1. I don't see Pam. Okay, let's pick. What? We'll give her a chance to come on. Pam, you need to be online to win.
Clay Mommy 11 said here.
Oh, Pam, are you Clay Mommy 11? Pam? Yes, okay. You won the winter set. Yay! Yay! Winter set. You're going to be so comfortable. Excited for you. Okay, let's pick. Congratulations, Pam. Let's pick the summer set now, Emily. Okay, let's see. Who do we got for the summer set? Summer set. Pick me, pick me. Love that. And just for any of you know, we're doing this in a very random way. Okay, this is like Tina Bina. Okay, Tina, you have won the summer set. Congratulations. Okay, make sure that you tell us what color and size you want. If you need help with the sizing, we can help you with that. Just email us and we'll let you know how the sizings run so that you can, or go to the nurturewear.com website and it gives you a list of what the sizings are and it kind of correlates to your normal dress size, like pre-pregnancy size. Okay, do we have any other questions? We still have some more time left over. Let me see if there's anything on here that, let's see. Oh, I have a question here that came in from Liz. Liz is a good client of mine in New Jersey. Hi, sweetheart. I hope you're online with me right now. My 3-month-old baby is exclusively breastfed, and sometimes she will go a few days without a bowel movement, okay? She does have enough wet diapers in a day, about 8 to 12. That's awesome. And I've checked online, and it seems that it is normal. Is it? At what point should I become concerned? Excellent question. Excellent, Liz. Okay, so yes, the first thing you want to check is make sure that your baby is doing at least 6 to 8 wet diapers in a 24-hour period. That's going to tell you that your baby is completely hydrated, okay? That's most important. But when it comes to your the baby's bowel movements, especially a 3-month-old, a breastfed baby can actually go up to an entire week without a bowel movement and can still be considered normal. So, you know, if she goes a few days, I really wouldn't be concerned about that. When you start to get closer to a week, that's when we start to take a look at like what's going on. The constipation in a breastfed baby is not really the frequency of the stools, but the consistency. So when it comes out, if it comes out hard and not the normal, you know, liquid yellow watery poop, then we know that she's constipated. If the poop comes out and it's just an explosion, which it usually will be, if they've gone several days without a bowel movement, just watch out, because when it does come, it's like a volcano. Okay, that's not constipation. And so yes, this is normal. And so what you read online is normal. And then after about 6-7 days, I would start to call the pediatrician and talk to the pediatrician about it. But this is normal, and I don't think you're going to get to that point anyway. Okay. Any other questions that are coming in?
Go over the RSVP one more time.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the RSVPs. Okay, we're having some confusion. This may be our fault because there's so many places to go. But in order to RSVP, what you want to do is you want to go to Baby Dickie's website, and on the and the Shari Criso My Baby Experts My TV page, there'll be a link where you can go to Baby Dickie's website. That's where you want to RSVP and submit your questions, okay? Those are the RSVPs that will count towards the prizes. Those are the RSVPs that will count towards how many episodes you've been RSVPing for in order to win the grand prize, okay? I know there's an RSVP button on the ustream.tv section, and we've had some people go there. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been adding you to the list. But I want to make sure that everybody's clear that in order to really RSVP, you don't have to ask a question, but you do need to go to Baby Dickie's website, and she'll post the link for you, or you can go to my website where it says My TV Show, and it links right to it. Okay? So I hope that answers your question.
A couple of recommendations for dinner.
Oh, you got recommendations for dinner? I'm starving. Where do you want to go? We're in Vegas. Anybody know where to go?
Famous Dave's Barbecue.
Famous Dave's Barbecue?
That's from Chile.
Yum. Okay, that sounds good. Do they have drinks?
Say hi to Chalia.
Okay, awesome.
And then Sandra jumped on.
Sandra, yes, Sandra.
And Sandra said RM Seafood.
RM Seafood? Okay. Are you writing this down? Taylor, could you write these down, please? Okay. You know I'm totally going to forget with my brain. I'm going to be like, what did they say? All right, good. Cut and paste. Cut and paste. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode.
Anything you want us to look for while we're at this trip?
Yeah, that's a good question. Anything that anybody's interested in hearing more about? Did you guys have any products that you've been reading or seeing advertisements for that you want me to go over to the booth and do a little research about? Okay, post them here. You know, if you're seeing stuff out there and you're like, talk to the company. Go try out that stroller. What do you think of it? Okay, this is the time to ask me. Don't ask me when I come home and then I never got to see it. Okay, so start posting. And we're gonna post the video too. Yeah, for the radio show.
No, we're gonna capture some videos.
Oh yeah. Well, Taylor's in town with me. He's our video guy. He's our awesome video guy. Okay, he's out here with us. And tomorrow and Wednesday, we're going to be walking around the show, actually doing video content with all of our different companies, our sponsors, as well as some of the new companies out there. So you watch for that, okay? Because we'll be posting it on our video blog, and you'll be able to watch some of the stuff that we're doing. It's pretty exciting. It's huge out here. I mean, I don't know if anybody ever has been to one of these trade shows, but it's huge. What?
Give them an idea. It's like 5 football fields.
What is it? 5 football fields long, right? It's massive. Massive. Taylor showed up today. He was like, oh my God. Okay, so like the first couple years that we came here, we took like 2 days, then we made it 3 days, then we made it 4 days, and we still can't get through the whole thing. I don't know. It's over. Yeah, we'll take some pictures so you can get an idea. 5 football fields long and 2 floors of that. Okay, so it's just totally insane. But if there are some brands that you think I should be checking out, could you please help me out? Because I know you guys are probably doing more research than me at times. Check out what you want and send me some emails to tell me which ones to go check out. I still have 2 days left of the show, and then I can give you some answers on what my opinions are on them. Okay? Awesome. So we are at the end of our show. Joe's here. I haven't seen Joe in 2 weeks, so I am very excited to have my hubby back. We're going to go have some fun in Vegas, and we hope you enjoyed the evening tonight. We were really excited to be able to still do this with you, and we can't wait to see you back in New Jersey. We will be back there at the end of the week.
And there's lots of places you could be tonight, so we just appreciate that you logged on. There's a lot of fun. It's growing. There's more people coming on. We have more and more prizes and partners that we're teaming up with to bring you great products and great information.
Awesome. Awesome. We love you guys. High five. High five to all of you out there. Good night. And live from Las Vegas, we are signing off. Wait, what can you show them, Bally's? Oh, look, the lights are on. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Love you all.